Hi, my name is Wilx, and this is episode 10 of Project Ozone 3. Well, today we're going to make some thorium generators, sort of our early mid-game power supply, new power supply. We're going to need a water generator for those because they need thorium and water to run. We're going to make a material stonework factory to make stuff like dust and compressed dust and things. We're going to put some Telsa speed upgrades in them. We're going to make the multi-block auto sieve from modular machinery so that we can get things like a Blizz powder. We're going to make a power monitor so we can see how much power the auto sieve uses. We're going to now, I hear that the anti-barrels are going to be removed, but more on that later. So we're going to come up with a new method of sorting mob drops because mine relied very heavily on anti-barrels before. And we're going to use XNet to do it this time. So let's get started here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to need some pink slime in a minute. And we haven't spawned any of that yet. So this was from my mob farm. And I got quite a few buckets of that now. We're not going to need those anymore, I hope. Okay, so the thorium generators from Landcraft. You're going to need tungsten for them and thorium for them. So you can get them from the Landia dimension. You can also get both of those from Seething Netherrack. And so 20 of them, not particularly expensive. There's nothing particularly dear in there. And each of these does 1,000 RF per tick. Next up, we've had these two things spawn here. And we got 6 of those. Actually, did we get anything else? No. All right. We'll get to those in a sec. In the meantime, okay, you're going to need to make a whole lot of this modularium. Probably a stack of each of these, so you get like 5 stacks of this stuff. I've already made some. And then I made extra of those already, so that goes there. We need 59 of these. Why 59 of those? Okay, well let's show you that part. So on this, we come down to this list. See this list here? You need a machine controller, some size of output, some size of input, 59 in the machine casings, 12 blocks of iron, 4 machine circuitries, 16 machine gearboxes, some sort of energy input, and a mob basher. So that's what we're making right now. So those done, we need a machine controller. That's one of the machine casings there. The rest of it's obvious. Now, on the item input, you can get away with the smallest if you want. See, this one here has 32. The next level down has 16, 12, 9, 6, 4. 4 is probably big enough. Even the 1's probably big enough. But I'm making, they're really not that much difference in price. Like, take a look. It's the same format all the way through. So I just made the ludicrous size. But if you wanted to save on materials, this is where you would do it. And make something smaller. Now this, you do need the ludicrous for the output. Why do I say that? Why do you need that much? Well, let's see, use, and we'll go to this for dust, and 17. We need 17 of these. So if we come back here and we look at that, that's only 16 slots. You must have the same number of slots, or enough slots, to handle all the output, or the machine's going to fail. So that's why we go with the ludicrous. And then, now actually you might get away with one size down because it's probably not going to put out all of those in one shot. But all the same, better off to have the ludicrous. 12 blocks of iron. I showed you how to make these from mechanism, more of them will legit. And machine circuitry. This is actually a lot of stuff in here, because these are steel gears. Huge energy, you don't need that big. The big energy would be big enough. The next step down, which is the reinforced, is not. It's taking, I got in different tests, I got different amounts. On one it was like 3,000, on another it was like 4,000. I wasn't sure what I was doing different either. So it looked pretty much the same to me. And you need a mob masher for some unknown reason. Just, I guess, part of the recipe. Not actually mashing any mobs. And so material stonework factory. You only need one there. I just wanted to get them out of my inventory. We'll skip those two for now. Now I tried it in my test world with this infinite water source to supply it. It doesn't create enough water fast enough. But this thing creates lots of water real fast, so we'll use it. The speed upgrades here, this is just easy stuff. And we only need, well, we only get to use one in the machine, but I'm making two, so I've got extra for later. But you also need one to make the speed upgrade too. There is another recipe where you don't need it, but that looks more expensive to me, not less expensive. And a power monitor so you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to power. This is electric steel, those I'm getting from loot bags. Okay, we're all set to go. Let's go to over here into my crops area. And now I have a set of crops here. These are doing the thorium. And I have a line running out here to here. And yeah. Now, I discovered after my test that I need one more thing that I don't have out here. I need fluid. Fluids to go here. So we'll put down, actually let's drop down our water generator. It creates water, not power. Come on, get up. Okay, so now we've got all three coming up there. We've got items, we've got energy, and we've got that. But we are going to have to set these more carefully. So now you do not have to set them up like this. As a matter of fact, it'd probably be easier if I did it a different way. I just thought this sounded fun and interesting, so I decided to go for it. Or aesthetically, I kind of liked this idea, is what it was, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Okay, but there is something you have to know about these generators, and it's something of importance here. Let me get out something while I'm thinking about it. My conduit probe here. With these generators, when you connect a power cable, by default, let's go in and take a look. So this is on the items, and it's set to insert. So I did set that one already. On fluids, we want it just to insert. That's fine. Here's the important one. You cannot leave it on insert, because these things will try to feed each other, and all the power will get wasted trying to, in this chain, trying to feed the generators rather than to feed your machines. So you got to stick them on extract only. So you're going to want to make sure that you're using either the Ender conduits or XNet or something where you can force them to be extract only. All right. So now that that one's all set, we're going to take this and I'm going to press Shift, click, and see copied conduit settings. So then we're going to come down, and on this one down here, we're going to aim there. See, it changed it. And we have to get to that one. Actually, probably the easiest way is just to get in this way. There we go. And let's get all the ones on the back first, because they can be a pain to get at. I forget where they did that one. Okay, and then the ones on the sides here. Hope I got all the ones on the back. Now to individually do these ones. And this is made exponentially more difficult because my mouse has been acting up really, really badly. I need a new mouse. Come on, get down. Why are you not getting placed? Can't blame that all on the mouse. Part of that was me messing up with the keyboard. All right, so now they're all set up. And let's give them, they should all be full of water now too. Yep. And let's get them started on making some power. So down here, always active. Now they're getting fed thorium. And these 9 crops are more than enough to handle all of these, so I'm putting like 20,000 power there. And let's go out 1, 2, so here, and we're going to dig ourselves a hole of 5 by 5. Okay. Now I know that the first level is going to be just plain, nothing to it. Oh, and we should get out a wand. That would make this easier, wouldn't it? All right. Now, I'll show you how to look at this. I think I remember it, but so we hit this little button here. The bottom layer, as we can see, was all like that. Next layer up, we've got you're the machine controller right in front of us. We've got input on the left, output on the right. Okay, I know what I need to do here. So, don't need you or you for right now. That, the controller, and you're the energy hatch. Not you yet. There, there. So it's going to go that, and that, and that. Over here, we're going to go there, and there. Then our next pairings are going to be like that. Then on the inside, we get a ring of these. And it doesn't show you in the directions, but the only place left to put a mob masher was there, so I assume that's the correct spot. Then we need some casings to finish off this level. Now we're going to be dealing with these steel blocks. And then we'll take out our wand again. Those go like that. There, there. And then we'll do another row along here. And it formed. Cool. And we'll stick you to power as just an insert, so it doesn't do anything funky. Okay. And this doesn't show you much of anything. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take our material stonework factory. Plop it right down there. Now, we're going to put, that's a 2, so a 1, and then a 2 for our speed upgrades. And we're going to set you to be so that's going to gravel, sand, dust. Now we're going to craft it into 3x3. Now we only want this one to output to the right side. So that one can't go to the right. 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 Okay. The other way to do that would have been just to set up a filter. Why did I put away all that stuff? Oh, I'm going to... No, I don't need that. I'm wrong. I'm going to need item conduit. And you're going to be an insert. And you're going to be an extract always. And then we're going to take, where's my energy conduit? There it is. And we'll run it along here to there. Making dust, then making the compressed dust. The compressed dust is being put into here, and the compressed dust is then doing its thing. And then we need some place to output it. And I guess I'll just use one of these. Probably should use something much better than that, but I don't plan on doing a lot of these. I only want a few blizz powder, then I can make seeds. Insert. Extract always. There we go, and we're getting blizz powder and all the other neat stuff. Now, if we attempted to use the power monitor right now, we were to put the power monitor down on here, it's showing some low figure, but that's because this thing isn't always busy. It keeps shutting sort of on and off all the time. So let's make it work for a living here. Let's give it a whole bunch of that dust that I've already made in advance. And now let's see what this is doing. Let's give it a sec to work its way up.
Okay. But that's, oh, actually, some of the power is actually going to this. We should probably turn that off so we get a more accurate figure. Yeah, so this thing's using about 2,000. We'll make sure you're an insert only. Okay, so that's it for this thing. The whole purpose was to start getting stuff that we couldn't get from others, and also to get a little bit of experience with modular machinery on something easy before we get into some of the tougher stuff with it. All right, off to mob sorting. Now, to do this, we are going to want... Actually, let's double check this while we're here. We've done that. Yep. Okay. I only need one controller, but I decided to make a spare for later. And I only need a few of these. I made a whole pile of them. And that's it. So, now off to the mob farm. Now, you can see I moved the openers that were doing nether stars out of here. And this is all lit up, so no mobs are spawning at this particular moment. And I moved this all around here. Did it in a different way. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these along here like this. Now, I don't want to connect into some things. So on this one, I don't want it going to the south. See, the south was the drawer. This one I don't want it going to the south, or is it the west or the east? West, yeah. Don't want it going to either of those. This one I don't go into the south. South. And I'm actually going to add in an extra connection here. And we're going to call this one whoops, output. Actually, we can call both of these output. Oh, this thing is full. Is it being fed from above? No, it's not. Okay, so I want to do something here. This keeps its inventory. And oh, I did solve my problem for the flat transfers. Let's see if we can find one here. Where are they? There. And control works again. And as we can see, it's still all set like that. Good. That should feed bags in quick enough just on its own, so I don't need an extra channel or anything to make that movement. This one here is also going to be an output. For this chest here, that's the input to the system. This one here is books. And this one here is capacitors. Okay, and the rest of the stuff I can figure out. I don't need to name everything. So, What are we going to be doing here? Well, we're going to be taking stuff from here, and it's going to go to different places from there. So all the bags will go into here, except for the patient bags, which, as you can see, there's a bunch of patient bags waiting patiently up there. And they're going to get shoved into these. And they're going to attempt to go, let's say, into this row first. Then this row is going to feed that row and back and forth. And they're going to go along like that. The other way to do this would have been to put them all in a line, which probably would have been better, and put interfaces on two sides. That probably would have been the better way, but this is how I designed it in the first place, and I'm sticking with it. All right. Oh, and we're going to need to put in a controller down here, and we're going to need to give it power. So, item, create. So far, so good. Now, see all these ones where it's leading to the upper side of it? I'm going to go there, create an insert. We'll set it to a high priority. We'll make high as 9. We're going to put quantity is only 1. We only wanted to get 1 of the bags. And we only want it to get patient bags. We don't want any of the other bags going into these things. Actually, let's do one thing different. I'm going to make this a priority of 8. Why is that a priority of 8 instead of 9? Because I'm going to give that one there, which is this here, gets a create insert with a priority of 9. So it's going to try to go to this first, and when it can't, then it's going to go to the others. All right. Then getting back to these ones here. So same as this one for an 8 and a 1. Create 8 and a 1. Actually, let's deliberately mark these as patient bags only. And we'll set them to that. Let's do the same thing here. I'm not sure which one of these it wanted, but so I'll just use all 3 of them. Create, insert, 8, 1, patient bag. Now this one we're going to do just slightly different. We're going to give it a 7. We're not going to put a number here, but we're still going to put patient bags. So why did I do it like that? Well, let's say I've got 5, which I do up there, 5 patient bags. The extra bags will go into this one. They'll attempt to go into the other ones first, and if there's no room for them there, it can get a whole bunch of them in here. And as it starts developing nether stars, it'll start moving them around. Now, that's the inputting part. We need to have these output to somewhere as well. So we're going to create another one. Gain its item, create. And here we're going to create an export. And we don't need to do anything else to that, actually. Just create, export, create, export. Okay, so far so good. This one here, that's an output. That's an output. These are the other set. They're the ones set to down. So these ones are going to get inserts on this side. Create insert. Actually, I don't need to do anything for these because the only place stuff is coming from is these ones here. So we're just going to put inserts on these ones. Oh, but they do need to get 1. I apologize. They did need something else. All right, so next up, for these ones, these need to output here. Create an export. That way we've got them bouncing back and forth between the different ones. All right. So now let's deal with some of our crates here. First off, now what I've been doing with these is I come along and I look for all the ones that are 4s or better, like that's a 4. And then I move the 4s are better, and I sort of put them in order, like that's all my sag mills, no, that's sag mill. This is alloy, sag mill, that's the slice and splice, etc. going along here. And these are all at least a 4 something. 4.25 I think is the best you can do. But, oh, I didn't get one out. Any old one will do. And we're going to find the one that says capacitor, this one here. I'm going to have that create an insert. That, and we don't want to press any of these. And that's it. It's a white list, and so it's only going to get capacitors. Now the books. We want to be a little more interesting with the books. We're going to do them differently. The only books that I care about, the one I care about the most is protection, because every time I do armor, I'm going to want a protection 4 on it. And I'm going to want this version of Soulbound. I probably already have enough of them. Doesn't matter. Sieve Fortune, I haven't used them yet, but I might. Sieve Efficiency, haven't used them, but I might. Unbreaking 3, we'll keep collecting those. Holding 4, they're useful. Ending. So those are the only books I care about. I do have a few others, but I only need like 1 of them, and that's about it. So we'll come down here. And on the one that says books, this one here, we'll create an insert. Oh, and we wanted to match this stuff. There we go. So it's only those books that will go in. Oh, and we need to give it a priority. We'll give it a priority of, actually we'll give it a priority of 8. Actually, I should have done that over here as well. Where was the other one I did? This one here? Yeah, it should get a priority as well. Give it a priority of 8. Doesn't really matter if I'm going to set a negative priority for the trash, though. What are you? You're the input. You're the trash. Bag opener. You're going to be a create an export. This time we have to click on stack. And this is again for output. And again on stack, because one of them is just barely fast enough, and if it gets backed up at all, I need 2 of them. All right. What else have we got here? Okay, so for the trash. For the trash, I'm going to want another star. Ooh, and let's get another, actually, let's put the rest of the other stars away. Okay, so they've got a spot to go now. Now, for the trash, create, do I already have, I've already got those things exporting. This thing's already doing its thing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, goody. You got... Turn you off. Don't start yet, please. Okay. Trash. Insert. We're going to put you as a... Hope I didn't lose any... Oh God, I hope I didn't lose any of the patient bags. No, you're not doing anything yet. Okay. Don't know why you're not. Oh yeah, because I haven't said anything out of it yet. All right. On you. We're going to blacklist those. I'm not sure that it needs to, but let's grab one of these as well. They're probably the same, but just in case they aren't. Actually, I really don't care about the white bags either. I've got so many of those. I'm probably never going to make it through them all. And it's a priority of -10, so this is the last place it's going to try to choose to put stuff. And those are the only things. If I get too many books, they go to the trash. If I get too many capacitors, this is a double chest crate. But if I get more than that, I want them to start going to the trash too. Is this one. Create expert stack. Export. Oh yeah, and we got to turn this on again. And they're getting their loot bags. And they're all doing their thing, bouncing back and forth as quick as they can. You're doing your thing, emptying them out, and yes, this is staying empty because there's 2 things on it. Oh, I said I was going to cover the reason that anti-barrels were being pulled out of this. The problem is, I warned you before not to let too much stuff accumulate in it. This only has like 9 items in it. But let's say it had thousands and thousands of items in it. And then you took that anti-barrel and you stuck it in an AE system. It could crash your game and corrupt your game. It could be that bad, depending on how big you'd filled that anti-barrel. So that's why I suspect this is happening, is people were just overfilling these things, and then mod interactions as you went to put the anti-barrels in other things was causing all sorts of grief. And probably all for the best too. It's better to work out a different way of doing them where you're not creating lag by overfilling them. Okay, we have, let's test and see if this works. 6. Oh, I know what we didn't do. Create an insert. And you're a priority of 9. Glad I did that one test. And it's in here. And I'm also glad that I put that in as a blacklist on the trash, or it would end up in the trash. Whoops, what did I just do? Actually, there's a couple of other things that I want to finish off. There is the Salamander's Eye. A whole bunch of you pointed out that the reason it was causing so much trouble was it was putting out the fires back at my base where I was making the Grains of Infinity. Colby was the first one to mention it, but a whole bunch of you mentioned it. There was a couple of ideas for compressed iron. Panda Culling used TNT from Dark Utilities, and I think it short forms to Sergeant Diddy. used a creeper trophy to make his compressed iron. And I thought both of those were interesting. I put it in the comments after the last episode, but the problem for A equals B is it was rounding down to 9, and so it was staying going even if it was at like 9.999 or whatever. Even the mod developer came in and stated that in the comments, so I was kind of surprised. The problem I was having with the flat transfer nodes, Brian Stevens and Draco PCC both mentioned at almost identical time that the Sprint keybind is what it uses, and for some reason my Sprint keybind had got messed up. It was set to left click or something. My mouse must have done it on its own. I don't know. I never set that. And when I was placing the analog or any of the other RF tools wiring devices, Bill Lind Hassin suggested that it's wherever you place your cursor. Same way, see if it's that side for the cursor, it's there. If it's this side for the cursor, I don't know if you can see the cursor there. If it's that side for the cursor, it's there. If it's this side, it points this way, etc. Same way as when you're placing the conveyor belts from IE. Okay, so that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out there and have some fun. Thanks.